Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new night point of view review. In front of us is the new Citroën eC3. Now I will have in May a petrol version, but tonight we have a electric version. Now this is the max trim. I'm pretty sure if you're regular to the channel you already saw the review. Now the kind of spec we have, it's a front wheel drive, front electric motor, 83 kilowatts. That's 113 horsepower. We're sitting on 17-inch alloys. The max trim has a comfort suspension, unlike the UN Plus trim, and it's very comfortable. Plus, trim and max trim get comfortable seats, so I would advise you going for one of those packages. And I think the price difference is too small, and the packages are more rich in the top trim. Now, I deliberately locked the car. I'm going to unlock it again because you can better see the rear, because the lights are short, they just go off. Just a quick glance at the cargo space. We have 310 liters, if I'm not mistaken, 1,200 when you knock down the seats. Now, since this is the only EV with a physical key, I have to keep it in my hand actually. Now let's jump inside. So we have a one cold light in the interior. Let me just put the key inside, seatbelt on, and this is it. Let's switch on the car. Now I have to keep talking. The music always turns on, so I might as well just do a little demo. Now I have to mute it just not to get a copyright strike. It's actually, when you turn on the speakers, really good for those bass speakers. I'd say that they're good, they're not super great, but for bass speakers they're actually quite very decent. It's a clear sound, it's a good bass. It's only 6 speakers, but yeah, it's pretty decent. If you haven't watched the day review, I suggest you check it out. Because I did record everything detailedly and run through everything. So I don't want to go too much into details. Let me just see here. I see my Apple CarPlay has disconnected. This is the embedded navigation. Maybe we can use it, or I don't know, do you guys prefer Waze? Let me just see here. Devices. My phone should be on the list here, so it should pair in any moment. That was there, it's successful. You can see here Apple CarPlay is on, and here as well, so you can press any of these. So Waze is on, and just to show you here the icons, there's the return button, or you can press any of these. So I think I prefer Waze, honestly, but that's just me. Yeah, okay. Now, as you can see, I'm at 57%, and this is the odometer, and this is what I passed today. And today I was at 80-ish%. I forgot from top of my head, but since I've picked up the car with 100%, I'm at 57% now, and I did almost 90 kilometers, as you can see. This is the range that's the left, and this is the charge and eco power. We're gonna stay at that. Just gonna put it to reverse. You can see the reverse camera, it's pretty decent, and I'm gonna put it to drive, and let's head out. Now we have a good turn angle in this car as well. Now, when we're driving at a slower speed, you can hear the pedestrian warning sound. Let me just lower the window a little bit. You can hear that. But after a certain speed, it just disengages. This is just pedestrian warning system. Now, I said this in the review, you should watch for the A-pillars. They're a little bit of a blind spot in some cases for the pedestrians and incoming cars. This is tall and wide. But otherwise, the overview in the car is nice. You're in this compact SUV, a little bit taller, I'm a tall person, I can see the hood, but I'm pretty sure even a shorter person should be able to see the hood as well, so you get a little sense of feeling as well. But overview on the side mirrors and on the back is quite good, easy for parking. This is not a too large car, so it should be good. Now, I mentioned this one has the soft suspension, and that's the way I love it. It's really nice and comfy. It soaks in all these small imperfections, bumps, speed bumps, manholes, all the damaged parts on the road, so it's really great. I really am pleased with this. Now, steering is a little bit light when you jump in the car at first, and power? Well, have in mind, before this ride, I had a test car that was a plug-in hybrid with 300 horsepower, so you definitely feel the difference and the change in the amount of power you have. But after spending a day or two with the car and adjusting to its strength, I would say for daily commuting, this is more than enough. It's quite good. At first, after the other car, it felt a little bit too numb, but now I guess it's fine for this size of a vehicle. Again, it's 113 horsepower. Now, this is an EV. Definitely one of the advantages is driving nice and smooth. So let me just disengage this pesky speed, overspeeding or whatever speeding. It's like 5. It's inside the tolerance we have here in Croatia, so it's not really speeding, but it's annoying. It's a new law. So you do have a little button, you can disengage it, but it has a very annoying sound. Even the turn signals are honestly slightly annoying. I mean, they could have chosen a slightly better tone for that, to be honest. What is this guy doing? Okay, he stopped. I thought for a moment he was going to back up into me. I guess he didn't see the traffic light because he jumped it but realized it was red. Also, the camera is slightly lower than my eyes, so this area here is a blind spot for the traffic light. Currently, I need to turn on the side a little bit. But max trim, I've said, has this super comfy seats. So let me just share some light. Very good seats, very comfortable. We had them in the previous generation. They're still here. Definitely recommendation. Don't go again for the very base trim for the U. It's not worth it. You don't even get this display in the middle trim. You don't get automatic AC, so you get it in the max trim. So they really wanted you to go for the highest trim, but for the very base trim, it's like really under-equipped. And in the max trim, I haven't said this in the day review, you get alloy wheels instead of steel wheels. So that's another reason why to go for the max trim, if you have the budget, of course. Now back to EV driving. We have a good response on the throttle and smooth acceleration. Now it speeds up nicely, but it's not super fast. But you can almost drive one pedal, although this car, when you stop, it doesn't fully stop. It keeps going forward like a classical automatic. I prefer when it fully stops if you're not holding the acceleration pedal. But you can recuperate. Now, recuperation is not super aggressive. I would say it's like mild. It's not very low, but it's enough to recuperate some energy back and extend your range. Now, one thing that I am missing on this digital cockpit is power consumption. You actually don't see it. You have to rely on the BMS and on the percentage. So you will have to develop a feeling of how far you can go. Now, the best, of course, way is to set trip A or B, or reset it when you charge to 100%, and then you realize after you deplete your battery how much exactly did you pass. This is very annoying, and I haven't figured out, do you need to press it once or hold it in order to like disengage it for the rest of the drive. So I'm sorry if it's going to be beeping. It's just the way it is. Now, if you're driving and you want to get out the most out of this car, you want to stay with the acceleration in this blue zone or the eco zone. If you go for the power, the white, you're going to be burning more juice. Also, if you're going downhill on a longer journey, it's not bad to keep it in the green here in the charge. So that's that. Still, really fast you will get a feeling of when to let go and anticipate the traffic light, and use your recuperation to slow down. But I do need to remind you that occasionally it's good to use your brakes, so to prevent rust buildup on your discs and brakes, the brake pads. So in the long run, because you will save your disc life and your brake pads life, but you can potentially ruin them by not braking at all. Happened to me in my Tesla. Well, I haven't ruined them, but definitely I didn't use the car this winter enough, and since I have a lot of test cars, and I've started to get some rust problems. Now, official range on this car is by WVLTP 320 kilometers. On the BMS, when you charge it to 100%, it says 300. So that's that. Now, I saw the EV database, it's like 260, but I guess that really depends on the driving style. Now, if you go to the highway, judging from today's drive, would say this is power thirsty if you're driving 130 or 135, which is top speed. You're going to see that now on the highway. But if you're driving at 100 or 120, I think you should be fine. Again, as long as you're in the blue eco zone, regarding power consumption, you should be fine. The seats are super comfortable, and the interior is surprisingly spacious. I can't remember the last C3 I've tested it, but I think this is slightly more roomier. Cargo space is decent, so for a small family car, it's actually quite good, I'd say. And you're going to be pleased with this if you go for the EV. Now, this car doesn't have any driving modes, so it's I guess like a single power setup. I hit the last manhole, and it's very soft. So 17-inch alloys is not a big alloy, so there's a lot of tire, and with a softer suspension, it's an excellent combo. Now, with the lower center of gravity, this should be better for cornering, but I haven't really went fast in the corner. I'm gonna see here how it reacts. It's a taller car, so it should be leaning a little bit. Oh, there's a little bit of leaning. I wouldn't go too harsh inside the bends. Now I'm gonna floor it here. Not super fast, but decent. Now, top speed is limited to 135. As you can see, this is the max, even going downhill. I'll slow down. So, it's a boxy shaped SUV, or compact SUV. So, there is some wind noise. Soft asphalt, rough, or smooth. Now smooth, rough, or winter tires. So if I speed up to 130, it's more noisy. Now there's a speed limiter. And cruise control. It works good. Now let's see if this will warn us if I'm about to leave the lane. Yes. So it corrects you. But okay, I did touch the steering wheel, so it didn't try to correct me the second time. It did the first time. Okay, the car behind me was a bit slow, so I'm just gonna drop here to 100 so you can hear the sound. You can mostly hear the winter tires, which are noisy, and this part of asphalt is very rough, so it's also noisy. There's slight wind noise at 100, 110, it's fine, but 120, 130, it's actually quite noisy regarding wind noise. Now, LED headlights performance is decent. We have cold lights. Since there is traffic, we're not going to use the long beam, but we're going to get outside the city where there's no street lights and demonstrate that as well. Now, one thing I've mentioned in my day review, I really like the speedo here, but it's you're not far, and if you're watching at it, your traffic is in your peripheral. But if you're focusing on this one, you have a less peripheral focus, and I think they should have moved the main display a little bit more forward. Now there's actual construction here starting, so I'm slowing down now. I wouldn't slow down before because it's just a too long stretch. There's really no sense in that. Yeah, still there. But they're fixing this overpass, so that is that. Now you can see once you get to the highway and higher speeds, you just start burning juice faster. So maybe you can pull at 300 kilometers on an open road and in the city, but on the highway, if it's cold, it's less likely. At least if you're gonna drive 130. If you're in the UK, I think they have like 110 speed limit. I think that's 110. It should be 110 if I'm not mistaken. 60 miles per hour is like, or 62 is 100 kilometers per hour. So that should be, I think, correct. In that case, or if you're in Norway where they have against lower speed limits, you should be fine with this. With this, you should be able to pull maybe almost 300, even if it's colder. But in the rest of the Europe where you have 130 speed limit, this might be a little bit short on range. Now, I'm not gonna do a 0 to 100 on this car. It's 11 seconds. That is really long. But let's talk about here the battery, and I think it's important if you're planning to keep this car long term. It has a 44 kilowatt hour battery that's a usable amount, and it's a 400 volt architecture, and it's an LFP battery, meaning that it has more cycles than the NMC or NCMA. I forgot the shortcut, but long time you should be fine with the battery. You also have a warranty. Usually it's 8 years. Now we are at our street with no street lights. Okay, now the beam is cold. It's wide, and let me just show you here. There is this height control, so I can potentially, I can dip it down. Okay, yeah, I thought I was gonna raise it, but that's, I guess, far enough. And then long beam, so it's actually very bright and shoots far out. Yeah, the long beam is great. You can see the reverse camera is also practical at night as well, for backing up. Although I always say that I like to turn around, use my mirrors. That's usually the best practice. So the cameras is just an aid, but that's that. Okay, we can drive, and that's that. Okay, I'm gonna floor it here just a little bit so you can see. Yeah, I mean, 0 to 100 might be slow, but when you need to like speed up from 50 to 80, it's okay. It's not super fast, but it's okay. Hey guys, so I think I owe you just a little speed up here because I'm usually an easy driver, but sometimes I just really don't show you how this can easily accelerate. There's no one behind me, so I'm just gonna slow down and then just floor it.
Speed camera
so it's good ahead. You know, it can speed up to a speed limit very easily, probably faster than the petrol because it needs time to build up revolutions, and this just goes instantly. Now we have to talk about the price of this car, and why it makes sense only with incentives. Now, 30,000 euros. This car has one option only, and that's the onboard 11 kilowatt AC charger. It's standard 7, but you can pay extra to 500 euros to get 11 kilowatts. If you're charging at home, you really don't need that. If you're charging on public AC stations, that makes sense. And the DC is 100 kilowatts max. Now, 30,000 euros seems a lot for this car, and it is. But if you get a good EV incentive, let's say it's between 5,000 and 9,000 euros. I know some countries have like almost 5,000 euros incentive for EV. Croatia had 9,000. This year in 2025, it's going to be only 4 companies. But even for a company, that brings it to 21,000 euros. And if you have a company, you can deduct 50% of value added tax. So it's going to cost you even less. So it's cheaper than petrol. And if you have a charging station at work or at home, but even if it's only at work and you're charging or you're at work, then this makes sense if you're just doing a daily commute. If you're working in the city, mostly driving, you're really saving money, especially if you're charging at home overnight. But even if you're charging at the office,
speed camera reported ahead,
you are saving money. So this car makes a lot of sense in that case. And it makes more sense compared to a petrol because it's just cheaper. But if you're planning to get this for long journeys, I would look elsewhere. This is more of a city car rather than a long journey EV. Occasional road trips is fine, but again, just this is more like a city commuter, which should have a good range, good comfort, and occasional road trips is fine, but otherwise I would not focus on that. Now we're coming to our garage and about to wrap up the video. Now, since I'm using the recuperation for the most part, I haven't really used the brakes as much. So I can tell you, if I stomp on them, they're very responsive. Not too aggressive, but they are fast. There's something hanging here. I did notice it. So that's wild. Now, I've said this in the day review. If you press these down, so it, oh, come on. I'm trying to make a point here. Oh, it just hold it for a while and then it goes down. So usually it's like one short press and it just goes fully down. But look at this. Yeah, it doesn't want to go all the way up. I need to hold it. So it's not completely automatic. So for this one, it's just like a not short press, like a longer press and then let go. It goes all the way down. You can interrupt it, but it won't go up. You can hear the pedestrian warning sound once again. Yeah, just see, I need to keep holding it to raise it up. Now, there's a charging station here, and I do have their card, and these are good. They have their own cable. But I'm gonna charge elsewhere because I'm not gonna stay here. So, and I want to show you the car from the outside a little bit in the garage as well. So I'm just gonna park at my regular spot. That's, I guess, lately just regular. And it's right here. Now, that is that. Just to show you the camera here quickly, reverse. So good resolution for parking purpose. Put it to park, and that's that. Unfortunately, I cannot show you my power consumption because we just don't have it in this trip computer, which is odd. But today I passed 100 kilometers and I was, I think, at 85 or something similar, or 82. I forgot, but I might check and type it down. But I used around 30, almost 40% of battery for 100 kilometers. And here you can see from 100, I've used 114, but I did a little bit of highway driving, so that burns the juice faster, so have that in mind. And here it says here at 45% that I have 89 kilometers left. But I've heard that the BMS is gonna be very optimistic, and then once you go below 50, it's going to rely more on your driving style. So that's that. That's the original navigation. I didn't use it because I know most of you will use this, but if you're using this, there's an app called A Better Route Planner. It's this one, ABRP. If you're driving electric, I would then maybe advise you to use this one for your range if you're not using this one, because this one has charging stations. I actually never used it in this. Oh, it's a premium feature, sorry. Well, you can use it on your mobile phone instead of the big screen, or you can just buy their premium and have it on the screen. But it's a very useful app. It uses real data from other users, and it's going to give you a very accurate estimate of range and the charging stops with price information and so on. Or you can just try this one. Okay, that's it. Not to be too long video. I'm gonna exit the car and check out the exterior a little bit here in the garage as well. So this color is really stylish, especially if you are a lady. I was stopped today by a family from Slovenia, and they told me they've ordered this exact same spec, exact same color. They were really thrilled to see it in person. They asked if they can peek inside. I've said of course, because they've ordered it. They even haven't tested it because it was not available. The dealer got this, or excuse me, the importer, for a press car early, but these should be arriving in I guess late April or May in Slovenia, and I guess in Croatia if you want to buy one. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe. Bye.